Cats. They're so fluffy, cuddly, playful, or lazy, and cute. One issue, our cute, cuddly friends, cats, outside live only 1 to 5 years compared to our indoor friends who live 15 to 20 years. How can I contribute to combat this issue? My name is Brody Gonzalez. I am a Alvin High School dual enrollment student for Alvin Community College in my junior year. Throughout the current semester, I've continuously worked on a passion project along with other assignments that cover the same issue. When this project is completed, this will mark the final assignment of my course. This video will inform you about the problem I researched, my proposal to you, and my passion project progress. The first step for the passion project was to discover a real-life problem about a passion we had, brainstorm ideas on how we could combat such a problem, and lastly, turn your ideas into a project. I personally love the cold. It honestly feels good, helps me be mentally better, and I tend to enjoy being outside when cold. An issue presents itself at the time. I have seen an average around 3 cats per year die of the cold outside, while walking to school and while casually looking my backyard, but with a cold, hardened body. For me, I could not imagine how many more fell victim to the cold that I could not see since I walked one specific route and saw a few. It is saddening for me to see as a cat lover, and I had no clue how to combat the issue. Before, I would feed the cats and gain relationships with them, if I could, but now I had to face a new foe. The domestication of cats has become increasingly popular today, but we have always domesticated cats dating back from 10,000 years ago to 12,000 years ago. However, until the 1950s, mating season would be unbearable due to many house cats and even outdoor cats. And unlike modern times, vets were not trusted to successfully neuter, leaving the cats being in heat and making messes, which especially affected the indoor cats, leading many to be abandoned for leaving pee to attract breeders, and this only led to problems with the environment. Furals, as said by Nicole Elmer, a graduate of the University of Texas at Austin in biodiversity, associated feral cats for the massacre of an average of 1.4 to 4 billion birds yearly. Mammals have a worse issue, having cats on average yearly murders are 6.3 billion to 22.3 billion. These stats alone are in the United States. In other places such as Australia, feral cats kill up to 1.8 million reptiles daily, leading to a major decline. Ferals also spread diseases rapidly, like rabies, toxoplasmosis, and feline leukemia. Due to such circumstances, society tried to combat the ferals. Friends for Life, a Houston association committed to feral cats, explained that removing cats from an area created a vacuum effect. The vacuum effect was first reported when society had resulted in a catch and kill technique, which simply killed cats upon catching them. Although the situation would worsen, it was recognized that cats quickly and rapidly reproduced to fill those lost, and new cats would be introduced from other areas. But even with increased efforts to kill feral cats, they did not see a decline. Now introducing Trap Neuter Release, or in short, TNR. TNR introduces a humane way to deal with feral cats. Instead of killing feral cats, they would simply neuter them to prevent reproduction, especially in female cats, since it causes them to be in pain while in heat, and releases them back to their place of origin, which will prevent a vacuum effect. A study conducted by Michael Stackoff and Felicia Nutter, both graduates in veterinary medicine from North Carolina University, analyzed 9 colonies, finding 6 colonies in 2 years decreased by 36%, while 3 colonies unneutered increased drastically by 46%. A modern and humane solution that's been adopted by thousands of cities, creating such a huge leap in the right direction, now creates a concern for the well-being of these cats after their release back to the environment. A reoccurring suspicion from residents was the fact the cats being released or returned to the environment continuously. Rachel Leland, a journalist from Baylor University, discuss questions from residents in League City, Texas concerning the local TNR program's efforts when it came to the ferals being released. Residents asked why the program releases feral cats without putting them up for adoption first, which also includes current and past volunteers of the program, exposing that the shelter was relatively empty with adoptable cats. After the exposure, the program in League City put cats up for adoption. Leland shows staggering statistics showing that 132 cats were adopted, 42 were in foster homes, and only 7 were released through TNR. Although an improvement for how TNR works, it raises eyebrows and concerns about the overall TNR program's inhumane abandonment of feral cats. Orange County Animal Care, a shelter in Orange County, California, had undergone a trial accused of over 1,000 non-feral cats released between September 2018 and June 2019. Carol Mithers, a journalist for over 30 years from the University of California, shares the cats released were roaming or lost, which are cats that can be returned to owners and also consisted of kittens that can be socialized into new homes easily. Yet they violated these cats and released them back casually. When it came to cats that were needed in care, Orange County failed to do so. Photos shared against the county exposed a cat that was supposed to be in their care, seen malnourished, had broken ribs, had upper respiratory infection, and visible maggots polluting the cat's eye. While the issue has improved to take care of any issues with feral cats being released and the unnecessary abandonment of cats, Orange County's response to the situation has forever left a scar. Representatives of the program claim that the accusers were presenting misinformation and scaremongering, a response so childish it did not sit well with the local opinion, since still to this day has not been cleared up against the accusations. One saying I learned from my mom was you can make anything to anything else if you put your mind to it. I could not find the right inspiration for me, and it was becoming difficult for me to properly find inspiration on what I could do for the feral cats in my neighborhood until I had seen in my garage an old cooler unused for years and a drawer full of unused blankets. To start, I had slightly cut an outline on the cooler since I had only one shot at this. I had only one foam cooler after all. I had messed up on one side, sadly, because I didn't realize I didn't even put the blanket in first, so I had to restart on the other side. I had put the blanket in folded, and then I started to outline on the other side, which worked well enough, having a hole big enough for a cat to squeeze in, as well as a thick blanket that covered the cooler. Although a simple build, it is rather efficient. The cooler lid allowed me to take it off and back on to have an easier time cleaning the inside when needed. A blanket inside allowed me to be able to wash it when needed, and then for the time being replace it with another blanket, which there's plenty more to go around. Also, since I kept the piece I cut out, it could be closed from all holes and stored when needed, which is more during the winter time. Although it will take a lot of patience and effort to get other feral cats in my neighborhood to learn to use this small shelter, if I can save one more cat from the cold, then it is worth it. I tried to teach the feral cat I bonded with for the past 5 years in the small bed, but she seemed hesitant, and for now was a failure even when I put food in there. It was not enough for me to give up though. Soon I will begin to build more after personal stuff in my life clears up. Till then, I will continuously do my part for these cats, feeding them in combined efforts with fellow neighbors and sheltering them as much as possible.